Good day, everyone. Welcome to, I should start to say, Tuesdays with Caribbean Connect Lunch and Learn. You know, this is, I think, the 17th Lunch and Learn session with Caribbean Connect as we speak about so many interesting topics. And definitely, I'm sure you would agree with me that learning keeps us young, learning keeps us vital, learning, when you learn something new, if it's just for 10 minutes, you know, you become more creative, more ideas, and it's a whole lot of great fun. So I wish to say thanks to everyone for continuously who have been here, just joining us all the time with our Lunch and Learn sessions. And of course, some of us would already know that I think it's about 35 fireside chats we have done with learning and development with persons. So we have two aspects of learning and development, one during the day on a Tuesday, Lunch and Learn, and also we have our fireside chats, we call it, on an afternoon session, sometimes once a week, where we share on many different topics, ranging from, as you know, artificial intelligence, we're talking about virtual reality, we're speaking about hydroponics, aquaponics, you name it, right? Log in. So I wish to say again, thanks to all of us who keep joining us as we go week to week. I'm Shivani Sinarayan, for those of us who don't know me, and I'm very happy to be here actually today to share another interesting topic with data analytics, and this time the use of a very interesting feature, artificial intelligence, AI, I should say. So before I jump into the software, I just want to do a couple presentation, a slide deck actually. I just want to show a slide deck on this, and we'll take it from there. So welcome again to everyone. I'm seeing a lot of familiar names. I'm seeing some new names, which I'm happy for. So let me just share the screen a little bit. Yeah. Of course, if anybody would like to say anything, type it in the chat, or you can, you know, put on your mic and get into the convo, because that's what we're all about. Let's share knowledge and speak. So how to use AI in MS Excel. How to use AI in MS Excel. Before we do a demonstration of one of the interesting features with data analytics in Microsoft Excel, I just want to recap what data analytics is all about. And I know some of us would have seen a couple of these points already, but I want to make sure that you will recall it and you remember the thing. So what is data analytics? There's so much to learn with data analytics, folks. And I'm sure that's why you are here. You want to learn so much more with data analytics. Data analytics is the science of analyzing raw data to make conclusions about that information. Many of the techniques and processes of data analytics have been automated into mechanical processes and algorithms that work over raw data for human consumption. But there are so many different tools, and that's what we have to remember. There are many different tools for data analytics. In addition to a broad range of mathematical and statistical approaches to crunching numbers, data analytics has rapidly evolved into technological capabilities. Today, data analysts have a broad range of software tools to help to acquire data, store information, process it, and report findings. You know, and again, something so very important. You know, we keep hearing this topic over and over. We got to become more data-driven. We got to become more data-driven. Of course, we have tools to do it, but I always start any conversation with data by saying, no tool is a miracle worker. It's a miracle worker once you have the data in the software, you then could analyze it. But you have to ensure that you have populated the data, that you have populated your spreadsheet, if it's in Excel or you're using Power BI and you have so many different tools to do it, you must have data. So data analytics So always had some loose ties to spreadsheets and Microsoft Excel. You know, some persons, when they talk about data analytics, they'll say, but Microsoft Excel can't do that, or if not can't do that, don't speak about Microsoft Excel when you're speaking about data analytics. Of course, the software, it evolves so much that it really is doing quite a lot for us. Basic Excel, and I mean, there are new versions of it, and that's what I'll show. So now data analysts also, they interact with raw programming language to transform and manipulate the databases. Open source languages such as Python, they're utilized. They have more specific tools for data analytics like R, which is used for statistical analysis or graphical modeling. And even in Microsoft Excel, we have, you could do a lot of statistical analysis with the software that you don't have to purchase other software for it. You want to see how Microsoft Excel can use that. It's really powerful stuff once you know what to do. Data analysts also have help when reporting or communicating finance. Both Tableau, so I'm just sharing more, different software with us. Tableau and Power BI, business intelligence, excellent tool also. They are data visualization and analysis tools to compile information, perform the data analytics, and distribute results via dashboards and reports. Good. Some of us, again, from the previous session, we spoke about types of data analytics. And I want us to go through this and keep remembering data analytics, because when you are using software to do it, you use software for a particular reason to accomplish something. What do you want to accomplish? What are the different types of data analytics now? You could break it down really into 4 basic types. You have descriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics describes what has happened over a given period of time. Have the number of views gone up? Are sales stronger than this month than last? So questions from me with my basic lunch and learn here, when I have all my data, I'll say, are more persons coming in on Tuesday from day 1 to now? That's descriptive analytics for me. 2, diagnostic analysis. This focuses more on why something happened. Why did it happen? This involves more diverse data inputs and a lot of hypothesis. Did the weather affect beer sales? Did the latest marketing campaign impact sales? Now, I've always found this to be a very important one, diagnostic, because I found with the tool, Microsoft Excel and Power BI and Tableau and all these great stuff, we are getting the data to become more descriptive. But something is lacking from descriptive to moving down this, to the different types. We're not doing it in how we really supposed to do it. That's what I'm trying to say. And therefore we stuck with only just getting the data and just saying, all right, yeah, we have increased. Yeah, we're better at the sales now. We're better at it now. And that's it. Or we're not better at it now, right? But what about moving data into knowledge? And this is the whole purpose of a data-driven approach in organizations. Many persons, you want to use a tool, you want to use a spreadsheet, but we become so bogged down on data and we forget that the power of the data is to help us to make better decisions. And it is people to help us to do that, people and culture of people. So diagnostic analytics. What about predictive? This moves to what is likely going to happen in the near term. Something we call it as triggers. So you say, okay, right, in project management, what we always talk about in projects will be, this is the critical part, but this is near critical too because of the trigger here. It's triggering something. We don't predict. This moves into what is likely going to happen in the near term. What happened to sales the last time we had a hot summer? Are we doing things like that? What happened last time? How many weather models predict a hot summer this year? Look at how much data and how much questions that you have to ask. Prescriptive analysis. And this is a good one. This suggests a course of action. Yes, if the likelihood of a hot summer is measured as an average of these 5 weather models is above 58%, we should add an evening shift to the brewery and rent an additional tank to increase output. So, we all talking about data analytics, and yes, we're going to introduce Excel now with AI, and you're going to see the software and everything to do it. However, whatever type of software you're using and you're talking the language of data, it falls into these 4, it falls here into these 4 types, which is descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. And we need to get better at the predictive and the prescriptive. We need to get better at that. We becoming quite good with descriptive. And this is where many conversations will come up over time when people use the spreadsheet and they use the tool to talk about descriptive. We say we become so, only thinking about process, and we forget that there's so much more to make better decisions. And I always tell persons it's because we are not moving from a process to people, or we are not blending the two together. We're not blending the two together. So I want us to understand, yes, you have tools, you have software. It's going to give you a certain amount, right? You're going to get a certain amount of data from it and be able to analyze it. However, you have to mesh the two, process and people, for effective decision making in your organizations. And if you don't, you're going to be stuck at descriptive analytics, and you're going to just say, well, yes, we made $20,000 in sales. But after a point in time, if you may no longer make $20,000 because you're not looking at what triggered, and you're not looking at different models, you're not looking at how to increase that sales, etc. So you stop with descriptive analytics. Great. And these are the main agenda points that we will discuss, which is just a few points into the software. All right. The introduction, which is what we did. Analyze data to use AI. That's what we'll discuss. Ask questions about the data. Ask questions about data. Get insights and see trends. That's what I want you to see. Introduction, analyze data to use AI, ask questions about the data, get insights, and see trends. Thank you. Let me stop sharing and then open up the Excel spreadsheet now. Great, here we go. Good. So we have created a simple Excel spreadsheet here where we have columns, categories, products, sales, rating, date, customer. Right. So let it sink in a minute and have a look at it. And I'm going to ask a question. I'm seeing Vindra in the group. Yes, I saw Vindra logging, right? A name, see a lot. Good. So Vindra, you're hearing us, right, Vindra? Gosh, Vindra, you're going to tell me, no, you're not hearing because you think I'm going to ask you a question, but I'm going to ask you a question, yes?
Yes, I'm in you.
Right, great. So look at this data and tell me, if you look at this basic data, what type of questions you will ask, what you want to know about this data, or anyone, right? So 3 minutes, everybody, just look at this basic data now and tell me, what do you believe are questions you could ask, or what you could talk about, anything. 2 minutes on the clock, 2 minutes on the clock. All right. 2 minutes past. Natasha, you want to say anything? Tia, you want to say anything? Yeah.
Hi, Shivani.
Hi, welcome.
Hi, this is Natasha.
Natasha, right.
So-
Hi, Natasha.
Yeah. Hi. So what I am basically getting from this Extract Excel, I would basically say that it's given me a picture in terms of the product, the customer, in terms of what the customer would have been purchasing, and also the sales received from the respective product. So basically, this will give me an idea of who is purchasing the larger percentage in terms of the rating of whatever product under the respective category. And it will help me forecast moving forward, I would assume, which product would align with which customer.
Okay, like which one sells the most then?
Which one also sells the
Yeah.
most, like which customer purchases the larger percentage of whatever product. Also, so the greater revenue then, I'm seeing somebody indicated it in terms of the revenue, the income you're getting from which product. So that way you can focus on probably purchasing more of that in the future for that particular customer.
So what products bring in the greatest revenue? Okay, great.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Good. Now, without knowing AI, and some of us have been in the Excel sessions with data analytics, and even before data analytics, how would you get this information? How would you know what products bring in the greatest revenue? Well, before you knew about formulas, you might have just go and and look at it and try to ballpark something. But of course, you have formulas that could do this, right? Of course, you have charts that could do this. Of course, you have pivot tables that could give you all of this great information. There's Power Query. There's so much great stuff. There's conditional formatting. All of this, we went through in the past Lunch and Learn, and we have these different training that we do. So yes, you have to know formulas, right, to do it. So what are the type of questions? Anything else you want to ask? Tia, you were going to say something, Tia? Sunil?
No, please, I wasn't. I was just going to say that based on what I'm saying here, that the same thing the lady first said is what I was going to say. Practically something like that. The increase in the sales from the different products.
Great, great. So as we said, you could use all of this with what? You could use everything here by creating formulas and using the formulas, or do conditional formatting, or do Power Query or Power Pivot, and different formulas, functions, etc. Really good stuff to do it, as we saw a couple of weeks ago, and I think a number of weeks we've been seeing it. So I'm just going to introduce the AI concept, artificial intelligence, that is built into the Excel to do it. Right now, the version that will allow you to do this one is 365, right? Office 365. For the older versions, you can't do this part, right? So you have to know that it's got to be done in the 365. 2019, they were saying that you could have done it, but I couldn't do it in 2019 when I tried to do it a while back. So it's definitely in 365. This is a new one. In 2019, you have data analytics, but you don't have this aspect in 2019. So how do you do it? I go to home, the menu home, as you are seeing, and guess what? You have this menu then on the ribbon, which is analyze data. Analyze data, that's what you have, analyze data. Right, anybody is using 365? Anybody got it? Vindra, you got it? Tia, anyone? Have you ever seen it before?
I'm not
Yeah.
using it, no.
Right. So I don't think then you would have ever seen this word, analyze data then, right? Because you would have seen before when we did 2019 and before data analytics. Correct, right?
Yep.
Right. So we're going to click on analyze data. And look, here it is. Very, very great stuff. So that's why I always say, wow, when I see this. And I could see it 100 times. When I look at all the different types of data and you start it, I was like, oh my gosh. So analyze data. ask questions about your data. Now, it's even gotten a little smarter, right? Where you have suggested questions, where it's telling you certain questions that you could ask. It's percentage of total sales for each category. So I will do that. I will just click on it. Percentage of total sales for each category. Let me just get this a little, yes, for each category. Now you realize it's popping up in a chart form. Yeah. Seen it? Right? Percentage of total sales for each category. Some great stuff there. Good. Could I come down a little bit and see something? Right. Let me just double click on this. Look at what happens when I double click. What you realize? I am accepting it now as a chart. And I can come into the workbook and label this now as sales category. What does this make sense to me? I'm seeing sales, I'm seeing the different components, percentage of sales by categories. And I have created a chart. Did I go and do anything with insert chart? Nothing I did. All I did was ask a question. It came up as a chart. Bam, I double click on the chart and it is now part of the workbook. Remember, I may want a workbook now to present my information to the CEO or if I'm doing consultancy or whatever, right? Right, great. So we have a chart here. So let me get back my info. Sheet 1, it is on sheet 1, right? So sheet 1 will get all the data in it. And now what I'm saying, we can go to analyze data, and the analyze data button is on the ribbon on the menu home, So you have to click on home, then you click on analyze data, folks, and you start to ask questions. And I did not even know what question to ask. And I just got a suggestion, which is percentage of sales by category. And I came up as a chart. So let me close it off, right? And you realize now I have sales category here. I have created it as a chart. Now this is even great stuff because now it was in the form of a pivot chart. For those of us who know about pivot, and we have spoken about pivot before. And now you could actually change up the features because now it's coming as a pivot chart, and you could, change the information to present it in a chart, a pivot chart in different ways. So even greater stuff. It's made it, what I'm trying to say, folks, it's made it a lot easier for us, right? So I'm going to sheet 1 again. Walk me through what to do again. Someone, could you walk me through what to do? I want to get back this chart business to ask some questions.
We on the home ribbon, we go into analyze data button on the right side.
Great, analyze data. And let's start to ask all different things. So could I now ask so things are coming up, right? It's giving me suggestions. That's why it's giving me suggestions. So what could I ask again? Let me ask. Now I have to remember that, to ask specific questions and how to ask the specific questions. So let me say, which customer makes purchases the most? Showing customer, which customer? So you get it in an order here. I didn't look into. You have to ask the question a little differently. So we'll say, which customer total sales, right? I think total sales for each customer, and then I'll ask it differently. This is sales by customer, and immediately you are seeing what? You are seeing Isabella made the most sales. Are you seeing it in the chart, Vindra?
Yes. But
And
Isabella
if
on
I-
top, it started descending.
Right. And I'm seeing it like that. So it's good stuff. All right. Which year had the greatest sales? All right. But before I test that, Natasha, if I want this to come up now as a worksheet or as part as a worksheet, your chart, what would I do? What would I do? I have to just double click, right? That's what I want you all to note. I just have to double click. And it comes up here with everybody's sales by customer. And then you have total sales by customer as well. Okay, so I'll change up something shortly. You have insert pivot chart. Yeah, so it comes up here. So I'm going back to my sheet. Sheet 1. Right, what you were asking, Natasha was saying to write. So discover insights. Discover insights. It's actually giving you insights, right? Rating by customer and category. Average rating, customer. So look, it actually told me right here, Shivani component is 75%. 75%. Wow. The total for Shivani is 75%. Then Pauline, look at it here, 94% of category. We broke it up, you know, into clothing. Pauline bought things with clothing. Yeah. And then 33%. Yeah, 33%, sorry. And then you have bikes. So you have components, you have clothing, you have bikes. Ricky, 90% of category. Yeah, category accessories here. And then you have, so it's actually giving you some insights. I'm seeing the grand total is 81% of category accessories. Components is 47%, clothing is 46, bikes is 41, and grand total is 54. What is this telling me, right? What is this? So it just populated, rated by customer and category. What I'm trying to see, once you have the data populated, you know, you can now just see, Excel now will just give you some suggestions. That's what it's doing. It's giving you suggestions. So this is one with rating by customer and category. What is this telling me? What is this telling me with the data that I have here? And I didn't click on anything, you know, I clicked on nothing, but analyze data and discover insights, different insights that I could get from the data. What is this really telling me? Take a second, tell me. Natasha, what is this telling me now? If I have to, you know, do, this is more descriptive analytics, right? If I have to do more predictive from this, or on a prescriptive or diagnostic, what will this data help me to do? In other words, how will I move from data-driven to knowledge-driven with this? Great stuff, man. Yeah, how will I move from data-driven to knowledge-driven with this? Yeah.
Hi, Shivani. This is Natasha. See you again.
Great,
So, as I said, well, it's the same thing before where you're looking at the highest percentage in terms of your revenue, receive highest revenue based on the percentage rating, and that should be able to guide you in terms of what item moving forward you should probably purchase more, right?
So yeah, I'm
Based
looking
on
at
that.
this. Yeah, correct, right? So you're looking at this now and saying, is 81% of category accessories. So to me,
Right.
81%, I should probably do some investigation more in that. Why is it that
Correct.
people,
Buy
why is it
more
that
of that.
customers
Yeah.
that? The category, yeah.
Yeah.
And then now, if you look at my data, you have the different categories, right? But now category will have products in those categories. So probably I could even go a little further. Well, actually it did break it up for me one time. And you are seeing clothing and bikes. Which one? So let me ask some more questions. Great. So this was a little insight that came up that I thought was good. Analyze data again. Percentage of total sales for each product. All right. Did I show that percentage? Total sales for date. Total sales for date. It's giving me suggestions, you know. Total sales for date. Wow. So on the different dates now, it is summing up the sales. Total sales for date. What do you think about this now? Total sales for date. So Natasha is also saying, Mohammed, we can sort which item we can import most for the customers to purchase. Yeah, you could do that too. Yeah, of course. Right, but by just looking at the data, you can say, wow, yeah. So I just showed total sales for date. And what I'm trying to show everybody is that, remember, you're going to be asking a multitude of questions on your data. That's what I want you to note. You're asking many questions on the data. So all you have to do is to double click now on the suggestion that you have. You just double click on the suggestion that you have, and bam, it comes up as part of your workbook. So this is suggestion 4. What should I label this now? Sales by date. Sales by date. You know, I found, well, I will do a lot of work with Microsoft Project and Oracle P6. And I found that if you build it in Excel, a lot of the data, it's a pretty easy for you, you know, in asking certain questions to things that you wouldn't get as easy in Project. So you got some advantages and disadvantages of using it. But my point is, you use the data to give you, well, to give you suggestions on what to do. Yes. So let me go back now to sheet 1. Right, you were talking about, Natasha, sorting. So sorting, you mean just go on top there and just select what you want. This is what you're talking about. And I could just, well, that's having automatically the filter on, right? And you could just say, okay, I only want to see clothing. No, I think I removed clothing alone. Yeah. So let me just go back to category, click on the drop down and say select all, so I could get everything coming up, right? Good. Why so many sales on that date and one? Which products, which customers? Right. You wanna talk a little more about that, Vindra? Why is that question you're asking to type or your
Yeah, that was
analysis?
a question based on the analyzed data result that we got. That date we have there, 2/1/2023. So one of the thoughts I was having with respect to that's the highest sales. And then the other question that came about is like, why was it the highest? And which products were sold, so we could check and see which products were making the most sales and to which customer in terms of generating insights after just the descriptive statement to know which customers, if it's one customer buy all, if it was a certain number of products that could have been associated with a particular date for that particular date in terms of stocking inventory and those kind of things.
Okay, so you're saying let's ask a question because you saw second of the first
Yeah, the first one
2023.
is 68,000. That's the most sales on
Let
a
me see
particular
what,
day. If we could find some way to
Right.
query to find what either product or customer or both
All right, good. Let's do it. Good. You mean ask the question? Great, great.
Yeah.
Analyze data. So you came up in your analysis now. Now you realize too, right? You know, people say, oh my gosh, AI taking away everything from us, and oh gosh, you don't need your brain anymore, right? But you realize you need your brain a lot to ask the correct questions, you know. Yes, you will get suggestions, but you're really, I've always tell people you need to develop what we refer to as an analytical mindset. Because the software, yes, we are seeing, wow, you're seeing a lot of, don't get me wrong, you're seeing a lot of questions that it's telling you what to ask. But I mean, if you have a better understanding of the data, if you know, so for example, if you were the inventory manager and you have all of this large spreadsheet there, you know, you will be able to ask the questions to get the answers, right? So food for thought too. So yeah, tell me what you want to ask now. You were saying, which customer, did I ask that? Which customer made the most sales on, no, I don't think I have it set up like that, you know. Which customer made the most sales on a date? Okay, well, it will come up by date. Let's ask it like that. All right. Okay, so all right, I get in our next set of information now. And we are seeing Craig 13,000 on a particular date. So Harry, Isabella, Paula, Pauline, Roger. Let me double click on this and see if I'm getting a little more information coming here. So remember, double click, right? So this is Craig total, but apparently Craig only sold on the 3rd of the 1st. So that could give me a little more insight, you know, Vindra, that I'm now looking at Craig sold on that. 68,000 was for what again? Who made 68,000?
68,000 was for a particular day, was the total on a day, 2/1/2023. So it's for one day, I believe.
For one day. Right. But then that would have been probably different persons.
Yeah. I assume it will be a combination of
exactly, a combination of persons. But now I change the question I'm asking now. Isabella, on the 4th of the 1st, she sold 36,000 on a particular date. Okay. So we have in this here as a customer, the date, and of course the sum of the sales. I'm trying to see if you could have gotten 2 dates coming up here. So the grand total is 266 that the customer actually probably purchased. Well, I'm saying customer here. You could have changed customer to the word sales manager or something. All right, good. Let's ask our next question and see. All right, good. Let's go back. Sheet 1, analyze data again. Well, this came up. Apparently, this is giving me some insights and I see it as being very relevant to me, where I have the average of all the customers and the percentage of the categories and the components. So we keep seeing this coming up. So we know that that is telling me something, right? Right, so ask questions about your data. Percentage of total sales for each date. I think we saw that already. Show total sales as a column, as a line chart. I could show something else. Look, as a column. Yes. Percentage distribution of a category. So I'm getting some more suggestions. Somebody was asking, I think sort customer, I think Natasha, sort customer by total sales in ascending order. Sort questions by total sales in ascending order. It came up one time in a chart form. Yeah, in a chart form. Right. I want to ask another question. I want to see products. Product sales by date. I don't want to put it up in a chart. So this is product sales by date. Products. So I'm getting a little more into it. I'm showing now the products by cracks. I'm showing actually, wow, this is even better stuff. Now it's getting a little better insights, I should say, where you can now have it by the product and the date, all by asking what? All by asking questions. That's all that you're doing. You're just asking different questions. Yeah. Take a second. What do you think about this one now, Vindra? Natasha, what do you all think?
But it's very useful. What I like about it is it kind of removes the need for you to build your charts manually. We didn't have to insert charts and add axes
No.
and
No.
those kind of things. We just go in straight for questions and insert the chart and manipulate the chart how we want after. For me, it's a faster way to interrogate the data and get insights from the data.
No, but you see, and I'm happy that you're with me with that one, right? And I started the conversation by saying I found personally using tools make people become so process oriented, and they just, keep entering all the data and just data and data and data. But organizations are lacking in terms of making effective decisions. So you see this now, it allows you to ask questions, yes, on the data. You still need a tool, but now there's no longer a disconnect between having the data and getting insights to make the decisions. So you jump right into the insights process that you could develop trends. So a lot of time could be eliminated with the charts, yes. However, what I find that we need to spend more time on will be asking the correct questions. Now you have to get the questions down back, right? Yes, you might just try. To me, that's the best way to do it. Just ask the question and see what will come, and then you can populate differently. Of course, it's AI, and in the back end, you have to learn how the questions are being asked. Of course, that's something else, right? Where we'll talk more. So, Romario, any questions so far? Give me a next question. Sinat, anyone? Shalom, Tia, anyone? Give me a question again to ask. I want to ask some more questions. That's what I want to get at. Try, help me. Give me some questions. Yeah, somebody type one in the chat. No questions. Okay. No, give me a question to ask. Yeah, to get an answer. That's what I'm trying to get at. To get an answer. Okay. Let me ask another one then. So this was saying sales by product and date. Sales by product and date. Okay. See, I want not to show it in a chart. I just want to have a number appearing. Which customer made the most sales? Yes, that's what I wanted. Isabella. Right, good. So all this is just coming about with the word. Remember before we put it with all the customers and you got it into chart, right? You got it into charts. But I don't have to only show it in a chart. I could actually just get the data right here. And then, okay, so if we are saying customer is Isabella that made the most sales, then I might ask In what date? What date was it done? Let me try something else. What date? Right, look at it. 2nd of the 1st/2023 apparently is the date. Right, what date was the most sales made? And I'm gonna just try this and see. And which customer? You realize it's taken it. I'll have to look for the information from this. Date for sales for each customer. And I'm not seeing Isabella coming up here again, did I? So let me just get back, take this word off. Which date was the most sales? Right, so we are seeing that. Which customer made the most sales? Oh, yeah, Isabella made the most sales. Great, great. Yeah, does a higher rating means more sales? No, I had just plugged in. Oh, you want me to ask that or ask the question, or you just asking what a higher rating means? So the rating was just a column that I placed there to talk about the number of sales. Yeah, you're rating this as being high. The product is really tiny, more CNAT with product. I had just placed that in there with rating. So perfect, perfect. So what are your key takeaways? I now realize it's almost 1 o'clock already and persons getting back into their jobs. What are your key takeaways for this session on artificial intelligence with Microsoft Excel, right? Key takeaways, anyone? Who's going to sum it up for us, please? What are your key takeaways?
Well, my takeaway from this session is the most important thing that you was keep saying all the time, which was ask questions and answering the correct questions. So I guess based on the question that you ask will give you what exactly you're looking for within the data, analyzing the data tool. That's the most I take away from this session. so far.
Right. Thank you. So which is asking the correct questions, and you just have to keep playing around with the questions, right? To ask the correct questions to get the correct answers. Yeah, to get the correct answers. What are other key takeaways before I sum up all the takeaways that you should get? Abigail, any takeaways? Okay. CNAT? Natasha, Louis, Natasha, yeah?
Yeah. My key takeaway is basically how I'm using the data could help you make projections. So for me, who is interested in probably starting my own business and stuff, the data actually, how to capture the data and using that to basically make projections for sale.
Exactly. So see which sales or which products really the market wants, which product the market
So that
wants.
way my business should be a little more successful than a normal person, because now I have this information at hand to make proper, feasible predictions.
Good. So the example that I could give in terms of my Lunch and Learn series, right? I can show now, once I have the data popular, right? Populated, that is. I could now say, hey, persons are more interested in AI, right? Persons are more interested in AI rather than in team building, or and vice versa. So you could ask the questions. Now I could have done it with data analytics before, just asking the questions, but now hey, you got it made it much more easier for us, right? Of course, I don't want you to
Yeah.
think that it's going to eliminate everything in data analytics, that how we have to do it before. Not everything at all could be done. However, in years to come, yeah, it's going to eliminate a lot. Yeah, in years to come, right?
Shivani, I have one more question because I was actually searching data analytics courses and programs, and it's very, very expensive. And most of it is available internationally. Do you know of any local body that offers a certificate?
So Natasha, you're not getting the emails from Caribbean Connect. There's the data analytics course that we ran about twice already.
Really?
Yes, so really. So, and we're having it on
Okay.
Monday, right? Monday is a new cohort.
All right, I'll
Right.
reach out to you for more information then. Thanks.
Great, great. So yes, CNAT is saying when given the AI access to the data, is the privacy of the data guaranteed, especially in the case of sensitive data? And they're working on it. They're working on it. They're working on that. That's a very good question, CNAT. Yeah, data privacy. Excellent question, especially in the case of sensitive data. That's true. Very, very true. Great. So key takeaways, that's a great point with data privacy. Key takeaways is that data analytics is a big thing. It can be used, let me stop sharing. It can be used in any industry. Now, I love when Natasha, you said that, you know, you're an entrepreneur, how it could grow your business. Yes, it's how to grow businesses. A lot of small businesses, medium businesses need to understand how to grow, right? And you could only grow by having data and analyzing the data really, right? Now, there are 4 types of data analytics. It starts from descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, prescriptive. Understand what each means. That's what we spoke about. We did data analytics. We show a number of different things in the Lunch and Learn. And today we demonstrated the AI technique, which is you go to home and you click on artificial intelligence, AI. Then we moved on to explain, ask the questions that you want to address. However, you still have to know what questions to ask. You have to know what questions to ask. Excel will give you some suggestions, but this is where your analytical mindset and your subject matter of the data comes into play, right? I've used it in projects management. Projects was wonderful so that I can see, analyze data. Great, Vindra. Then in Microsoft Project, you have lots of things that you could do with it. But of course, in Excel, if I build it, I could ask certain questions and say, am I over budget? When am I going to be over budget? And I could get the information. Yes, Microsoft Project and Oracle P6 can pull it, but what I'm saying, Excel can do the AI with you too. So there are so many different tools out there to use, but you have to know how to use the tool effectively. And the only way to use the tool effectively is to understand what do you want to do. When you know what you want to do, you select a tool that can work for you. There's a lot of culture, there's a lot of user friendliness, what will work for you, organizations, money, etc. So great. So I wish to say thanks to everyone. Of course, we will send a recording on our email thread to everybody. And I look forward to seeing you in our upcoming program on Monday with data analytics. Thank you, everyone. Until we meet again, stay good. Stay good. Keep on learning. Thank you. Thank you, Vindra. Keep on learning. And next week, Tuesday, we also have another Lunch and Learn. You all will get it in the database. Thanks again, everyone. Bye-bye.